Let's dive into Colorado on Friday, Aaron. So like I said, Friday, I ended up at a concert, which is interesting. I never go to concerts. Very good time, though. But when I last saw, Colorado was winning 29-0. So, like, I'm going around the concert telling everybody, fucking prime, Colorado won. I hit my over 4.5 wins bet. I'm just talking shit. And then I wake up Saturday morning and I am just mind blown by what I witnessed. And then I go back and I watch it, and a few things. First, I do want to credit oh my God, I'm like Ian Manor, right? The receiver from Stanford and Troy Taylor's team, because I mean, I've never seen a receiver take over a game in the manner that which he did. Ended up going for 3 touchdowns through the air, including that catch in overtime, where not only does he catch it around Travis Hunter, one of the best cover corners of the country, who was clearly exhausted at the time. He catches around him, and then he runs him 5 yards into the end zone. At any point, if Hunter could have like pushed his chest and thrown back his head, it would have been a fumble or would have been incomplete. But he was so dog tired, and Aaron Manor was so in his fucking zone that he just straight up carried this dude into the end zone along with the ball. And credit Stanford, but to me, Aaron, this is the first time in which this was a bad coaching job by Coach Prime. And look, there's a more ephemeral, like, it was bad in the sense that Colorado's up 29-0 and they just kind of went to sleep. Like, they thought they had the game won and they just kind of checked out. Like, that's bad coaching. But bro, he's got to stop taking the ball first in overtime.
Got to stop taking the ball first in overtime. Like, why would you do that?
It makes no sense.
Was he doubling down
the opponent? I think he was doubling down.
He was doubling down. Like, I didn't make a mistake that first game by doing that. I think that was it.
Rumor on the street is that there's some analytical breakdown out there about how, like, the first team that
50%.
Yeah, but it's statistically insignificant. It's not actually like an indicator.
Why would you not want to know what you need to accomplish in order to win the football game? Like, why do that to yourself?
No idea. No idea.
It is beyond silly. Like, enough's enough. Like, there were major coaching issues there in the second half. And one of them was like, Travis Hunter was dead ass tired. Your first game back from a major injury, somewhat of a major injury. Any injury is pretty big. And he's playing the entire game, and you saw him physically exhausted. And that just shows you like how much they rely on him, because they knew that, hey, like, even a tired Travis Hunter who is nowhere near as good as we've saw at the beginning of the season can even cover this guy. And we don't have faith in what's behind him either, obviously, from what we've seen from some of the backups at Colorado. So you feel bad for him for even having to be put into that situation throughout the game. And then, Shedeur Sanders at the end of the game too in overtime. Like, you can't just throw a ball up like that in a situation where it's still tied up and you have an opportunity to make a field goal. And then all of a sudden,
that's an exhausted Travis Hunter there, because it's kind of funny. Like, if you're going to throw a jump ball, he's probably the best player in the country to throw one too, because it's a bad throw like that. You would hope that Hunter could come back and break it up like he was on defense. But if you watch him, he is so no. It's an awful throw. It's an awful throw. But I'm just saying it's a testament to how tired Hunter was.
Yep.
He could not even get up the energy to stop his momentum, come back and try to fight for that ball.
In the chat too, they bring up the penalties in the game. 17 for 127.
Well, and that's coaching as well. Penalties are direct reflection of coaching.
There have been, for how exciting Colorado's been and how good of a coach I do think Deion is. He's still a young coach, man. Like, It's not like there's going to be. I've seen plenty of coaches that have multiple more years of doing it on Deion that make mistakes, and hopefully he just learns from. Like, I think the worst thing is still the overtime. Like, to look at yourself and not admit, like, I made a mistake the first go around, and not to correct it this second opportunity. I just think that's it's a pride thing. At the end, it's a pride thing, and I don't know if it's ultimate pride in your son and who he is as a quarterback, that you don't care because we're going to score anytime my son has a football in overtime. He's got balls to steal and he's going to score a touchdown. Like, no, like, you have to be a head coach in that situation. Put away your pride in your son and just say, I'm going to put my team in the best situation to win a football game. And that's taking the ball second in an overtime situation.
Yeah, I think Bud Elliott nailed it. I saw a clip on Twitter of him talking about it, and he was just talking about the information edge that you give up when you take the ball first is just insane. And you all understand that if you're listening to this podcast. But it's even but even to me, it's down to exactly what happened in the Colorado State game, where like they should have gone for 2. Colorado State should have. You had the initiative, you have the chance to end the game. Like you open that up for the opponent. Whereas if you're Colorado and you get it second, well, guess what? You can go take, like, if you're really so confident, because that's what he said, right? He's confident Shedeur in the offense. If you're so confident, let him go second and then go for 2.
Yeah.
Like
I'm with you.
Score and then go to end the game. So I think he will. I think if he gets another OT, I have to imagine he will change, but maybe not. The other thing I do want to say about this game is I do believe this was almost unlike any college football game I've ever seen in my life before.
Yeah.
Where I've seen giant comebacks, but I don't know that I've ever felt like I've seen it look that easy for one team early on and then flip in such an extreme manner. I mean, just a complete inverse where Colorado was just sleepwalking to the win. And the next thing you know, they could not get shit going, and then they couldn't stop Stanford. It was unlike anything I've ever seen before.
Was it true? Was Shedeur tweeting at halftime, like selling t-shirts?
Well, his like social media team was. Yeah, okay. I mean, not him. He didn't. You think Shedeur Sanders handling his merch shop? He ain't handling his merch shop, bro.
I mean, he may have just been on his phone and pressed, you know what, feeling myself a little bit. Let me just post it. I don't know.
Potentially. I can't speak to, I haven't done the forensic analysis of who was on Shedeur's phone at the time. That feels fucking wild to me. I mean, I know Deion obviously allows unparalleled access and allows a lot and leans into a lot of things that traditional coaches are like, but like, I can't fathom that.
How are you feeling about that 4.5?
You think people are on their cell phones at halftime in the locker room?
Yeah.
You think Deion lets that fly?
Yes. I think most guys, yes. I was on my cell phone at halftime.
What the fuck? What kind of ship were y'all running over there? If you'd have been on your cell phone,
we're winning big.
If you'd have been on your cell phone, that is
okay, hanging out with after the game.
Never mind. Maybe this is like old man me because I never saw a single motherfucker on his cell phone at halftime at LSU. That'd be been bad trouble.
I mean, the girl in the front row might have been texting, sliding in my DMs. I'd, make sure I message her back in time.
Mark says, T-Bob looks like somebody that's undecided about joining an Amish community or going into porn with that beard and stash. Relax, Mark. I can't get my fucking stash to connect. I never have been.
How do you feel about the 4.5? Are they going to get it?
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all. I'm a little bummed because the 8 wins is now completely out the window.
Yeah.
But whatever. So it's a massive it's a massive loss in that it's the first loss in which it's a game where we felt they should have won. Well, and where we looked at Deion, but where we should have won, right? Or where we think they should have won. Like Arizona State, you lose that, okay, that's a way more established program. I don't think they're any good this year, but like, granted, that's not crazy. Stanford seemed to be in complete shambles this season, and Colorado was not. And you're at home, which is, obviously Arizona State's on the road, so just brutal all the way around.